What's the deal, YouTube? I'm the king of these makeshift, quick podcasts. But like I said in the day, sometimes I come across information. Hold on one second. I'm trying to read that. Sometimes I come across information that it's being told. I'm not saying that it's fact law, but like I said, Dean has heard some room. You know, Dean, the tech guy from the Xbox Beast Fire, and we're going to sit here and just discuss some of the rumors. We're going to talk about the Zen uh, CPU. The AMD just had a presentation. I don't whatever they showed some of the benchmarkings for that. Looked amazing. Some of the rumors spec that's going to be in the quote unquote Scorpio. You heard some juicy stuff about the PlayStation 4 NEO. Also, some tech stuff about the NX. So, what you want to tackle first? You want to do the Neo, the Scorpio, then the NX, or the NX first?
Let's do the NX for sure.
Okay, so what we got going on about the NX?
Okay, so NVIDIA released information to the press. Well, they actually canceled their Shield 2.
Okay.
And the reasons that they cited for cancellation of the Shield 2 was a business decision.
Okay.
So what we've been hearing through the grapevine is that the NX is actually going to run the X2 processor, which was scheduled to be in the Shield 2. So, the Shield 1, it sold. It didn't sell like crazy. It wasn't like a huge success, but it did sell. So it would make no sense for them to release a Shield 2 and compete with themselves because the Nintendo version of it with their IPs is definitely going to sell more than their version of the Shield, right? So that's kind of like a gray area confirmation that the NX is going to be running the X2 processor from NVIDIA.
Oh, okay. So as far as spec wise or graphics performance, where would this put the NX at?
Well,
in terms of what we have on the market right now. In terms of what we have on the market right now.
The X2, it should put it depending. Well, they're going to be. I believe they're using the Vulkan API on that, if I'm not mistaken. So, it's a very low level API. So, based on the NVIDIA architecture, which is pretty good at getting power out of stuff, I would have to say it's probably in between. It's in between the Xbox One and the PS4, or slightly, ever so slightly powerful than a PS4.
Okay. And this is for in on the handheld for it, right?
Yeah, that's for the console in general. Like so far, what we know that's been leaked of the X2 and what people say the power is going to relate to. That's what they say so far.
Okay, now I have a question. Now, so with that, you're saying to be able to have let's say a handheld with the power of a PlayStation 4 to take with you when it go. So, what you think price wise about $400, maybe?
What is the Wii U priced at right now?
So the Wii U still 300.
Wow, really? Oh my gosh. I'd have to say if they want to be competitive, they'd have to be cheaper. I'd have to say they'd have to be 300 and drop the price of the Wii U, because I'm pretty sure the Xbox One, you got the base model at 299. The Neo could come out anywhere from $400 to $500. So I would have to say no more than $300 for that system.
All right, here's my issue right here now, and I'm not to be Debbie Downer here with this here. Now, even to me, I consider that a fail. The reason why I say that because if you're coming out with a console, this is Nintendo's 9th generation offer. Just to be clear, this okay. And again, they're now touting this console as a handheld. This is from Nintendo's own mouth. If they're coming out with a console that's spec-wise, just forget the specs, performance-wise, okay? What you have specs on papers and what you call real-world performance. If you have something that's on par, graphically, we could be judging gamers, you know what I mean? Forget what's under the hood. We judge games by what we see, you know what I mean? And it's on par with what we've been looking at since 2013. I consider that a fail because, again, you have the PlayStation 4 NEO that's coming out this year, and you have the Xbox Scorpio, which are coming out next year. So, and if your console, your 9th generation console, is going to be weaker than that, then it's like the 3rd generation in a row that Nintendo has the weakest hardware on the market. You know what I mean? And I get it, you can take it out with you on the go, but again, the traditional, just gamers in general, we just want a powerful console that you can play inside the house, and that you can get all your great third party support. You know what I mean? So, like I said, in the day, I'll be shocked even if it is that powerful that we'll be able to get a Witcher like 3 type game on the Nintendo NX. But with this chip right here, would it be able to actually run the Witcher 3?
Yeah, it'd be able to run it. Yeah, yeah,
Well, like
because if it's rough, let's say it's roughly going to be like say 2 teraflops performance, like at the most.
nice. And okay, now is that like the how should I say the is that's not custom, that's not underclocked, that it's coming in based or whatever at you say 2 teraflops?
Yeah, I think that's what they said. It's going to be around close to 2 teraflops, somewhere in that category. But like I said, they're using the Vulkan API, and the Vulkan API, it can really extract all the power that there is left on a chip. Right? It's very low level.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be. I think it'd be able to run it. Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, all right. Well, like I said, we shall see. Like right away, I'm letting you know right now, I'm not a big fan of Nintendo. I don't like their policies. And to me, they're just too goddamn strict. And me, I like to play online, and just stuff like a lot of stuff. Like it's a lot of things to be answered about this goddamn console, man.
I
Um,
think I think they're very. Let's cut you off. Sorry, but I think I
that's
think
cool.
they're very ignorant, or maybe that's not the right word. Very caught up in their own, like they're trapped in their own worlds. Like as you were saying, this would be the third generation that they actually have less capable hardware than their competitors. Like one generation, I understand. Okay, say you screw up and it's two generations, but 3 generations to have lower hardware than your competitors. Come on, man.
Yeah, and I know some Nintendo fans are gonna look. Oh wow, it's gonna be as powerful with the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 came out in 2013. Your
Exactly.
console's coming out in 2017. Let's be clear,
Exactly.
this, ladies and gentlemen. It's like let's be clear. This, let's just be honest here. It's not a win. And what to me, what was bothersome about with Nintendo and the whole attitude when Reggie said out of his own mouth, we're gonna let Microsoft and Sony fight it off, and that in that red sea of flops in performance and all stuff like that shit bothered me. But like I said, it is what it is. We're gonna see. I hope. I'm sorry. Sony said that. Well, according internally rumors that they was going to try to get the jump on as far as the NX, as far as announcing the quote unquote the PlayStation 4 Neo. So we may see an announcement from Nintendo maybe around September or so. But it is what it is. We shall see. But now again, you heard some juicy rumors about the PlayStation 4 Neo.
Yes, I did. Yes, I
Talk to
did.
me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
So what I'm hearing, and these are from people that are actually in the industry, not necessarily all developers, but like in different aspects of the industry,
Yes.
and what's going through their circle right now. And they told me to take it with they said to take it with a grain of salt. They're not confirming it to be a done deal. But what they're hearing is that due to the power of the PS4 Neo, that it will
Mm-hmm.
be able to offer backwards compatibility on PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games.
Oh, even though it's using a different architecture, but they be able to do like Microsoft is doing with the Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One emulator.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And then there was a few arguments. Some people were saying, "Oh, well, then that's gonna cannibalize their PS Now business," and I actually don't think so, because the PS Now is good for people that actually don't have a PlayStation. They
Mm-hmm.
can play it on their TVs. It's coming to PC. So I don't think it would really affect that, and it might actually be a driving force for people to actually go get a PS4 Neo that have been waiting to make the jump, that have a huge catalog. They say, "Oh, I can finally sell my PS3 or my PS2, and all my games will work on the PS4 Neo." So it could turn out to be a good thing if true.
Uh, Now you said that Digital Foundry. I haven't seen it. Put out a video, and they were talking about what the specs of what the Neo.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, what happened?
Well, in a nutshell, they basically said it's like they addressed the rumor about there being 2 different versions, one that's the 4.2 and one that's 5.5, and
Mm-hmm.
they said that that's just not realistic, because it would cost them millions and millions of dollars to have two different fabrications, to have two different designs, and it would just be money thrown away that wouldn't happen. And then they went in further to say that, you know, at the best case scenario, if they overclocked it, the
Mm-hmm.
best that they could get is about 5 teraflops. But they said even at that point, they'd have to redesign whatever structure, whatever body they had for the PS4 NEO. They'd have to redesign it to allow a lot of airflow to go in there so it could cool the system down. They said it'd have to be something similar to how Xbox One has, you know, the big vent and it's a little bit bigger, right? They
Mm-hmm.
said it'd have to be something like that for them to overclock it. And they said that they just frankly they don't think that that's going to happen. They said it's just too far in the cycle, and that, you know, the console is coming out in October. So where are they going to have the time to redesign the system? Where are they going to have the time to redesign the body of the system to make a new airflow? They said this theoretically it's just not possible. But if it were to happen, the most that they could get is 5 teraflops, which is still lower than 6 teraflops.
Yeah, well, and that's at the minimum for the Scorpio, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
at a minimum, you know. And just say, that, and here's the thing, and a lot of people I don't think people understand, and just speaking from my gamer point of view, and I hope they could get the console up to 5 teraflops. I'm just being very honest, you know what I mean. But if they can change something internally with the PlayStation 4 in this little bit of time, you imagine what Microsoft can do in a year, you
yeah.
know. So again, I hope Sony does, or whatever the case may be, they can get it up to full, whatever the case. The more performance, the better. Like I said, just me speaking this from a gamer and as a consumer. You know, put the fanboy shit aside. So I hope they could. I mean, it's kind of, I guess, cutting kind of close. You know what I mean? Like I said before, my man said, as far as the R&D, they've been working on this console for about 2 years, and yet years and years of R&D to make sure the console doesn't overheat, and a lot of different variables that go into the decision of the console. So just to scrap all that shit at the last minute, it's not very practical. Shit, if Microsoft didn't do it with the Xbox One, when it came out, the Sony was be slightly more powerful. I mean, around E3 or whatever the case may be. Like, and they got all the fucking money in the fucking world. If they didn't do it, like I said, it'd be very costly to throw all that shit away to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Again, and not to be, like I said, not to say that the 4.2 teraflops that are inside this console is something to scoff at. If you're happy with what you got now, we're talking about, and that's in 1.8 teraflops. Imagine 4 point whatever 1, 2 in a closed environment. Games are gonna look, great. I can't wait. Like I said, I'm really excited for the future of gaming. I mean, just like I said, just going forward.
And they also addressed I guess people sent in comments to them, and they also addressed about the Xbox when it was in that situation at the beginning of this console cycle.
Generation. Yeah.
Yeah, and how all they could do was overclock it.
Yeah, they didn't give him a teraflop. They actually gave him like 1.2 more, like 2 more points or some shit like that.
And when it was announced, they had like a good 7 months to go before, or I think it was maybe 6 months to go, right? And they made, and that's all the improvements that they could make. Now the Neo is going to be coming out in October. It's going to be getting announced in a couple of weeks, And another thing they addressed, they said, oh, well, people were saying, oh, look how the PS4 was able at the last minute to change. And he said, well, what had happened is that they made a deal with Samsung, and it was just like a last minute fluke deal where they were able to get more RAM. And also, too, he said that they had like 6-7 months to implement it, to put it into the consoles. This console is coming out in October. And they also went further to say that no developers have come out and said they've seen that 5.5 teraflop version. They all have confirmed that they're still working with the 4.2 teraflop version.
Yeah. And normally also, too, a lot of people don't understand is that dev kits are normally more powerful than the actual retail console because they need more, overhead room to squeeze it into place, whether it's more RAM, more whatever. But again, like we shall see, I think it's more of on a fanboy console war type thing. But even if it's like this, and it's something we can go right into this conversation here, even if Sony were to get the Neo up to just say 5.5 teraflops, just say that, right? And just going on with the technology that's available now, the chips that Microsoft are using in the Scorpio, quote unquote, are much more capable. They're mean like the Zen. I was looking at the thing from AMD, and that's huge. Did you see the thing from AMD with the Zen?
Yes, I do. I see that it matches what Intel is offering currently, and in fact, it beats it.
Yeah.
And what they did is they didn't overclock it. They put the Intel down to 3 gigahertz
Hmm.
at 3 gigahertz, sorry, and their Zen was at three gigahertz, and the Zen outperformed it.
Yeah. So what do you like I said, I guess so what are the rumored internal I guess specs for or parts for the quote unquote Scorpio? What's it is it 56 CUs or 60 CUs?
I think it was 60 C is the last time I checked. That was the calculations I think that Digital Foundry did.
Okay,
They
60 CUs. And we had was 60 CUs and the PlayStation 4 Neo has what 36 CUs, right?
36 C is correct.
And then what are the two new things they have coming out? They have Zen and something that was what do they have coming out next year,
Uh,
2017?
Zen and Vega's coming out.
Zen and Vega. So you think the Scorpio is going to link more with the Vega or more with Zen?
Well, the Scorpio is going to be both because AMD, when they came out today and announced some of the specifications of the Zen processor and the benchmarks, they said going forward that Zen is going to be the only processor that they make for x86.
Oh, and okay. See the Zen. So in that in the Xbox Scorpio is x86, okay. And
That's
if
correct.
I'm not mistaken, they was I guess kind of nailing home as far as 4K gaming. What they were playing Deuces X something, man. It was so basically told. Is this processor geared for 4K gaming?
Yes, they said it's for 4K gaming.
Hmm. So a lot of people were saying there's no way in hell that the Scorpio can be able to do 4K, and because
Well,
today.
first of all, Zen works with the GCN cores as well that are in the GPU. They kind of work together, and
Uh-huh.
like I don't want it's like pretty detailed, and I'm still learning more about the Zen processor, but it's ahead. This is a new way of doing processing, and let's not forget that Vega is definitely going to be more than 6 teraflops, but because it's in a console, they have to downclock it, and I
Uh-huh.
I I really think it's them just throwing that number out there because that's the number that they know they can reach for sure.
Uh-huh.
But they like, come on, they have like a good 12 months to go on this. Still more than that. I think it's like 14 months to go on this. Changes are going to be made. That number is just to throw it out there to Sony for Sony to say, oh my God, okay, it's going to be 6 teraflops. We got to get as close as we can get to 6 teraflops, and then once everything is said and done and the Neo is out, you mark my words, in October or November, there's going to be some type of conference for Microsoft, and they're going to say something. Oh, we've made progress with Vega and Zen, and actually, we're going to be able to get it up to 7.5 or 8 teraflops or something like that. You're going to hear that for
Jesus.
sure.
Jesus. That would be straight. But yeah, I don't know, man. If just say if for shits and giggles, if the Scorpio is indeed more powerful than six, I think we may see something from Sony sooner than later on the market. You know what I mean?
You're not going to see it's that's not going to happen. This was the roll of the dice, and they rolled a bad number, and they're going to have to wait another 3 to 4 years before they can release something. They're not going to be able to release something the next year. It's
Oh
not
no
going
no
to
no no no
happen.
no not in 2017. But
I
maybe
think
they may announce it 2018 and be on the market by 2019.
uh, if I going by what both of these companies are talking, how there's not going to be any more generations, and they're
Oh
going
no
to
no
be
no! It's just gonna be upgrade. Oh, we can get into that. We can talk about that too. So I did a video on that, and I think the people went by the title and didn't actually listen to what I was saying in the video. But yeah, before but let's talk. You got the floor. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I think with them going forward, not really having generations, just bringing out new hardware, like say like a iPhone or like a Galaxy 7. I,
Mm-hmm.
I would say I would say every 3 to 4 years we're going to see something new from these systems.
That'd be both forward and backwards compatible.
Yeah, I think every 4 years, these guys are going to try to compete with each other and outdo each other.
Oh. But
So I think the earliest that we'll see the Neo's coming out this year. Let's just pretty much call it. I think, yeah, the earliest that they could come out with something would be 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
So then, if the Scorpio comes out in, let's say 2017, you would probably will see something from Microsoft in about 4 years also.
Yeah, so like you'd see something in 2020 from them,
Yeah.
and they're gonna just continue to leapfrog each other.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited the way that gaming is going. Like so that's going to be the death of the no console. No, it's not because no longer will our games get old. No longer will our controllers get old, and they're giving you the option to upgrade. You don't have to if you don't want
No,
to.
no, you
At
don't.
the end of the day, so if you like what you got and the shit looks good to you, keep what you got. I just think that just going forward unless they move away from x86 or whatever, or that the vanilla PlayStation 4 and the vanilla Xbox One S will probably be the introduction to both of their ecosystems. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it will make it harder for people to leave that ecosystem if you already have 300 games. You understand what I'm saying? That can go with you to whatever new hardware they're coming out with. So us as console gamers, we never really had that benefit before. So maybe you had the 360 this generation, next generation, you're going to get the PlayStation 4. But imagine if you had all your games, all that stuff from the 360 generation, and they were all going to work on the Xbox One out of the gate. You know what I mean? That played a huge. That would have been a big deal.
yeah, I
You got all
agree,
this
and
goddamn games before. What'd you say, bro?
I agree, and also too, I think it's a good thing because you're giving gamers options. Because let's face it, not everybody can afford a $500 system or a $600 system. Yet they will have the option to get the Xbox One S at 300, or I'm pretty sure come this Black Friday they're gonna have a fire sale on the OG Xbox Ones.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They'll be able to grab maybe one of those for like $200, and they'll get to enjoy all the games that we're all enjoying on the Xbox One S or next year on the Scorpio. They're going to get to play it too. They have the option. And the best feature for me is for those that have a PC as well. If you buy a UWP game on Xbox One or if you buy it on PC, you can play it on both of them.
Oh yeah, I
So
didn't think about it like that. You buy a game from the Microsoft store or whatever the hell, and if you get a Scorpio, you can take your library with you there over to the
yeah,
Scorpio. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a win-win. Like I said, I don't want what Sony is doing as far as their development tools and what do they have. I don't know. I mean, I know that's the other guy. What's his name? Tim Sweeney was complaining from Epic, like Microsoft was trying to monopolize the gaming industry because now developers with one code can make one game and that bitch is scale up or scale down. And
yeah.
like I said, Microsoft, them motherfuckers be thinking ahead of the curve. You can hate them, but goddamn, you gotta. That's ingenious right there. I mean, no matter what they come out with right now, I guess I don't think developers are going to be moving away from x86 anytime soon. But
No.
maybe that's maybe the new thing here to stay, unless something comes out new in the future. I don't know. I mean,
And
there's always advancements as far as technology, but I think x86 is going to be here for a while, especially with the consoles now adapting that as far as PlayStation and the Xbox. The Nintendo, that's still the WoW fucking card over there in the left. Like, I don't know. By the time Nintendo get with the program, it probably be 2019, 2020 or something. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But
And I want to say something. Yesterday, it's a little off topic, but yesterday I had a eureka moment. I was sitting there staring at my PC, and then I
uh-huh.
realized, okay, wait a second. I just got the Xbox One adapter sent to me from Microsoft,
Yes,
so
me
that
too.
so I can use it for my
PC.
Xbox One S. But I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh my God, I can use it on my PC too. So now I can
Yeah.
use my Xbox One Connect on my PC.
Have you tried it?
No, I'm gonna try it today. That's for sure.
Yes.
Use it with Cortana, right? And another thing I want to say about Cortana is that on the Xbox One S, Cortana is so responsive. I really like how they've implemented Cortana. It's like spot on. Like I just say, "Hey Cortana," and I see like the white light on my Connect light up, so I know that she's hearing me. And I say, "Turn on," and boom, it turns on. And like it's much more responsive than the legacy commands. That's for sure.
uh, at the end of the day, though, I guess this even as far as with that, I'm excited. Like I said, the way that gaming is moving as far as the future. There's some interesting things came out from Aaron Greenberg over Gamescom's going on. I want to
Yeah.
get you. I want to get your opinion on something too. But he was saying like throughout the history of Xbox, they have more exclusives in the pipeline than ever before. So I'm excited to I know they got this fan fest coming up at sometime in the fall, between October and November, whatever the hell they got something for the fans. So they didn't have a Gamescom presentation. So I'm excited to see what we have that's coming, down the pipelines. But to you as a gamer, you know what I mean? Are you first of all, are you getting Scorpio? I'm sorry, the Neo.
Oh, definitely. The Neo. To
Damn, I
be
can't
honest
get
with
nobody
you,
but Neo.
just because I'm a gamer, bro. Honestly, to tell you, I probably will grab the Neo. I'll probably sell my PS4 and just grab the Neo.
Oh, that's what I. So you still have your? That's what I did. I got traded
Yeah.
it in while they were giving $200 for it, and then when they announced the Neo and you able to go to pre-order it, I'm going to go ahead and get it, put down on it, whatever reserve it, or whatever the hell. But here's a question. Like I said, you're more of a tech guy. We have it like according to those quote unquote those leaked documents that we all have seen by now 1,000 times over. Do you think that the PlayStation Neo will support HDR?
I don't know for gaming, but for movies and media, yes.
Like you don't know about far as the gaming? No.
Yeah, I don't know as far as the gaming because I know Microsoft has been working on this for a while and they have it coded into their DX12 stuff.
Yeah,
So
they said that last year. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if Sony invested in HDR as far as gaming. You know what I mean? Because we read about that. It was like last year and a half ago about HDR. Like, what the hell is HDR? They keep talking about HDR. What the hell is HDR? You know what I mean? They've been talking about that for a while. So and if Microsoft do this, like I said, this is a feather. Not saying that maybe Sony can't do it, but I just think this will be a huge feather in Microsoft's hat there, man. In their cap,
I have a feeling that Sony probably didn't even think about HDR gaming, to be completely honest with you. Because it have to be something that's built into their API, right? Because
Mhm.
they're not using DX12, they're not using DX11, they're not even using Vulkan. They use their own API. Oh, I forgot the name of it right
Open
now, but they use
GPL.
yeah, but no, it has a specific name. They're it's their own API. It's not
Mhm.
like anything else. It's still their own. And I don't know if it's coded into it. I'm theoretically yes, they could do it. The hardware should be able to support it because it's gonna have the newer fabrications of the AMD GPUs.
Mhm.
It's either going to be 16 nanometers or 14 nanometers. It's gonna have HDMI 2.0 for sure because everything that AMD is making now has HDMI 2.0. So it's gonna have the hardware to run it. I just don't know if they have it ready for their API. I'm guessing. I'm guessing no. Maybe it'll come in the future, but I'm guessing no. Let's not forget that Sony is a great hardware company, but they're not a software company. So
Good point. Good point. And the HDR is more of a software thing.
it's right.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. You know, man. I know here of us, all of us. But what about you think? What do you think about for us Blu-rays and stuff?
Yeah, I for sure. It's for 100% for sure. It's going to do HDR for Blu-rays and for streaming media for sure because they're going to want to use this to help push their televisions, right? So for
Hmm.
sure, it's going to have that. As much as sometimes we want to hate on Sony, they wouldn't have such an oversight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I said, damn. So I guess that's about it. So last question. You're the resident tech guy. For us, the Scorpio. Do you think there will be a difference in far as what we see graphically between the Neo and the Scorpio?
Definitely. They're
And
they're two they're two they're two different architects. First of all, we know it's going to be running Vega. Vega's not completely ready yet. They're still putting the finishing touches on it. I'm hearing some rumblings
uh
that they're going to announce their first Vega GPU. They're going to announce it in October. Is
uh
rumored to be the 490,
uh
the RX 490. So when that comes out, we're going to have a little bit more information on what Vega is capable of. But they have said already that it's specifically designed for 4K. So a lot of NVIDIA guys like to say, "Oh, it doesn't matter the teraflops, because NVIDIA teraflops are better or higher than AMD
and these
teraflops."
teraflops, yeah.
Okay, which is bullshit. It's the architecture, right? It's just they do it differently, right? To get to that. Now with Vega, we know it's a completely different architecture. So that 6 teraflops that's rated could be having the performance of like 9 teraflops of this architecture that we have currently now. So a lot of things are unknown. I know that they're going to be using some type of compression algorithms. So we just don't know what it's capable of yet. So for people to say, oh, it has 6 teraflops and the GTX 1080 has 9 teraflops and it barely gets to 60 frames per second, you can't compare it to that. It's not. It's
That's
not.
what I'm glad you said that, because I'm get tired of reading those comments in the section. Like, I mean, we talking about two different technologies. You can't compare a GTX to say 1070. I don't know how many teraflops that has, to what's the rumored base or whatever's going to be in the Scorpio. First of all, it's a closed environment. You know what I mean? And games will be better optimized on a console. That's just not even in my opinion. That is fact.
Yeah.
You know. But man, like I said, you're more of the tech guy. But like, to me, that's just common knowledge. It's when you PC. But look, I'm struggling to get 42 frames on my GTX 9. Bro, you're comparing a PC to a console.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I mean?
also to the ape. Sorry to cut you off, but
Let's go.
also to the API is different. Like the GTX, or sorry, the NVIDIA stuff is excellent at DX11. It's usually better than AMD at DX11.
But not at DX12.
But with Vulkan and DX12, it gets spanked. So like for instance, the 1060, on the benchmarks, the 1060 is the equivalent to the 480, right? So the 1060 on pretty much most of the DX11 games, it does beat it. Now when you switch over to Vulkan, the AMD is spanking it by like 30%, 40%. You switch over to DX12, it's beating it by like 15% on some games. Some games is kind of close because some games DX12 is some of the games aren't coded correctly for it, like Tomb Raider, like it's a pretty shitty iteration of DX12 on it. But going forward, we all know that DX12 is going to be better on AMD hardware. So if you have, for instance, if you had a 6 teraflop NVIDIA GPU and a 6 teraflop AMD GPU, and you're running the game on a proper from the ground up DX12 game, the AMD GPU is going to destroy the NVIDIA GPU because they can't do async compute. They don't have it in their hardware. They try to do it through preemption in their software, and that's completely different. We all know software implementation versus something that's built into the hardware is never going to be better.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. I'm glad you explained that here now. Like, did it in depth, because we all see the comments and the videos that we do, and it's no way. But I think maybe it's just the fanboy side. What people are missing, I'm gonna say this before we get the hell up out of here. I know you got to go. That we're not comparing the Scorpio to a personal computer. We're just talking about consoles. The Scorpio compared to the Neo, and when people are missing or trying to change the narrative, is that I'm not even claiming that the Scorpio will be 4K 60. I don't care. But what I'm saying or whatever is that the games were running look better on the Scorpio compared to the Neo. That's the only that's the end of the goddamn conversation right there. Whether they can do 4K 90 or not, I don't give a fuck. We can do 900p 60. Games will look and run better on the Scorpio compared to the Neo. That's
Definitely.
it. Not to your personal computer with 250 gigs of RAM. No one cares.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And they need to stop comparing. A PC is great. I have a PC. I have an awesome rig. And I'm not going to say PC is not great, but you can't compare it to console because console, like you were saying, much more optimization. For instance, we'll use two examples here. We're going to use Rise, and we're going to use Uncharted 4. Now, Rise was done on a console that has 1.3 teraflops.
Yes.
Now, you look at that game. It looks amazing. Has no business being on a 1.3 teraflop machine. Now, you look at Uncharted 4. That game is beautiful. Okay, that's running on a 1.8 teraflop system. You show me a 1.8 teraflop system on PC that has graphics like these systems. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. You just have a higher optimization, and people need to realize going forward, this is like a 4K revolution. HDR is present now. We have brand new APIs. We have Vulkan. We have DX12. Things are going forward. And DX12, it improves the draw calls. The games are phenomenal on it. And some people were disappointed, saying, "Oh, well, it didn't do that much for the Xbox One." It still did something for the Xbox One, but let's not forget the Xbox One is 1.3 teraflops, so there's only so much you're going to get out of it, anyways, right? Now,
Mhm.
if now them building Neo, sorry, not Neo, them building Scorpio, 1,000% that system is going to be optimized for DX12, 100%.
And games like I said today, developers will be able to target whatever set specs are in there. So I can't, like you said, you look at Rise, was a graphical showcase. Shit. You look at some games like what else looked great this generation to me. You know, there are a few games that stood out, and they were able to achieve that. And the same thing for the Neo, Uncharted, The Order 1886. So imagine if Sony or whoever developers have 4.2 teraflops to make a game within that closing, right? So I can't, even though I'm an Xbox dude, I'm excited to see what some of the
No,
exclusives
no,
look
no.
like on the Neo. You know what I mean? So it just, at the end of the game, I'm just happy, like I said, more or less, the way that gaming is going, and I'm excited. I can't wait. But anyway, thank you guys for rocking out with us. It was a little something to get together. Me and my boy Dean, the tech guy. As always, I'm gonna leave the link down to his channel below. Give me a link right now on your Facebook. Give me a link
Okay, bro.
in the message. I can leave it down at the bottom. And we come right back here about 7:10, 7:15. I got the multiplayer podcast. Got a slew of new guests. Yeah, it should be a great show, man. Oh, I want to ask you one last question before we go. What did you think about? Did you see the Konami Metal Gear trailer?
Yes, I did.
You like it, love it, hate it? Talk to me. Get your opinion on the record before we go.
Um, it looks like they're trying to use an add-on and sell it for as a game because it looks like an add-on to like the game.
Remind me
Like they
of Left
just
4 Dead or something. That's not
yeah,
fucking Metal
yeah.
Gear.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not. And it was a very bad move for them to even name it anything Metal Gear because the true hardcore Metal Gear fans are
I
really
said
pissed off at Konami right now. From and
I said that.
the big split that they have, it's like a sour taste in their mouth.
I
So
said that.
for you to name that game Metal Gear to think you're going to get those fans, no, it's not going to happen. And I watched, I think it was on their official channel or one of the channels I watched it, and it had like, I don't know, had like 500,000 views or something like that.
Mhm.
And I was looking at the likes and dislikes, and the dislikes were like 80% to like 20%. I was like, holy shit, man,
Yeah.
these guys really messed up on this game, man.
Yeah, I said that. Konami would have did better at naming it a brand new franchise
Yeah,
and
yeah.
to stick that Metal Gear.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Metal Gear. What, you're trying to say that these characters got left behind after the final battle, and now there's like zombies and they gotta escape? Like, just name it a
It
different
put me
game.
in mind of a little bit of Resident Evil 6. That shit was kind of weird. Like, you know what I mean? That shit was trash. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I like 5 wasn't that bad to me. Resident Evil 6 was dog shit. That was like they
yeah,
dropped John Claude Van Damme in the middle of a fucking zombie apocalypse or some shit. It was a straight to DVD movie, man. Resident Evil 6 was
yeah.
dog shit.
Before we get off the air, have you been catching Gamescom?
Yeah.
Oh
Some
man, did you see the Battlefield footage?
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I've been on the record as saying that first of all, I do prefer Battlefield over Call of Duty any day of the week. I want to say that. I just didn't like the fact they went with them old ass guns. Like I hate them old ass salt shooters. I like the new age type stuff. But I looked at the new trailer where they riding the fucking horses and shit.
Holy
That shit
shit,
looked
man!
hot. Yeah, so I might be picking up Battlefield, man. I might be going against my word. I might be buying Battlefield. But yeah, it looked
Yeah,
fucking amazing.
I was on the fence for it, and then Gamescom just sold me on that, and then they also sold me on the new Mafia. Jeez.
Oh, I've been was gonna get Mafia. Yeah, I've been was
Oh,
gonna get
the
Mafia.
new Mafia looks dope. Like I see they even do like racial profiling in the game. I was like, damn. Like you can't
Yeah,
go to like certain parts because it's like for like not for colored people because of the time
yeah,
period that it was in. I was like, damn.
yeah,
This
yeah.
game's gonna be dope.
Yeah, that game, yeah, it's like he taking down like the black, well, he like the black, I don't know what the fuck they are, like the Guerrilla Gang or some shit from Vietnam, but the game
Yeah,
looks fucking dope. Okay,
and
that comes out in October.
yeah, and also too, I posted up on my channel. Did you see the Gears of War 4K footage?
Yes,
Whoo!
yes.
Wow,
Yes.
wow,
You know,
wow.
here's the thing. I wonder if Microsoft was smart, that's what they would do. When the Scorpio does come out, I hope they use the Windows Universal UDP on that shit, let that motherfucker scale up or whatever the fuck. And
Yeah.
well, he did say, Brian Ferguson said, you know, that Gears of War was made with Scorpio in mind also. So I hope that, you know, that game will be able to take advantage of the new hardware that's coming out.
Oh yeah, I would think if I had to be a betting man, I would say that's the Scorpio version we're looking at right there.
Yeah, yeah, it looked fucking amazing though. It really did. It really,
And then
really.
and even Watch Dogs 2. Oh my God, that looked amazing too. I'm gonna
When
be
does that
so
come
pumped.
out?
It comes on I think like October too. Like that game looks amazing too. Like the lighting and the detail in that game. I was like, holy crap! These guys are really starting to crank out the good looking games now.
Now here's the thing though. I hope it's not like the bait and switch shit that, you know, Ubisoft's been known to do this whole generation. But here's I'm at a dilemma. You know, I'm an Xbox guy and I play 99.9% of my games on the Xbox. I may have to buy 2 fucking copies, man. Because especially if it has a Neo mode. So if it has a Neo mode, just to see what it's going to look like better graphically, you know, it is what it is. But
I will be going. I think babe, when is that thing? It's first week in September. Yeah,
what?
it's the first week of September. There's no, not for that, not for the reveal. There's I think it's not like Comic Con. What is it? Fan Fest. It comes to my city, comes to Toronto, and I go every year. So like Fan Fest is like I don't know, a bunch of like comic stuff and like, you know, PC stuff, gaming stuff. So they bring like all the new games. So like that's how I tried the
VR.
Yeah, that's how I tried the VR last year. So they're coming again this year. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some new VR stuff there, and they're gonna have some of the new games there to test. So I'll be putting up videos of that and reporting back to you guys how it was. But and they have a lot of Xbox stuff too. So I'll be able to play.
So what's it called? What's it called?
It's called Fan Fest.
It's just plain
Fan Expo. It's called Fan Expo. Sorry, Fan Expo.
Oh, all right. I think they have something like that in New York too.
They travel. They go to like New York. They go like Toronto. They go like big cities.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I may go to the one in New York, hook up with Tim Fat Ass and Mooch, and go to fucking New York and have a fucking blast, man.
Yeah, the Microsoft booth is always the best booth. They always have like activities, like, you know, if you play all their demos, they give you like free Xbox money, and they give you like loot bags, all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely a great experience.
I don't know, but me and my colored pass, man, I don't know if I can get any fucking category right now. What the fuck's going on, man? I've been shit. Let me know with the date. Bro, I might make a move, try to go run across the border, haul ass back. Let me know the date, bro, beforehand. No, not like a week before. Let me know like 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah, well, it's 2 weeks out. I know that for sure.
It's 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, it's 2 weeks from now. For sure.
I don't have enough time to know. I ain't enough time to know. Well, shit. All right, but with that being said, we got some crazy shit going on in the comment section, but besides that, huh?
What's going on there?
They just saw this one guy, Tony put Drive Card VR is better than fucking Forza Horizon 3. Facts.
Oh boy. Wow.
He said Drive Club VR is better than Forza Horizon 3. Tony, it never rains in Southern California. Another guy put Madden over Halo. And you tell me, I gotta try Madden. I got the
EA. My goodness, I forgot about that. I have EA access. I can download it now.
Yeah, another guy that got to hit Black Bond ain't gay. Oh my God, yo, that was some funny shit. Yeah, man, Jesus. I'm telling you, anything you put out there on the internet, man, ain't a secret, man. They went back and got his ass, didn't they? They wouldn't find his profile. He was trolling him, made that shit up. Did you see the video before we get? Did you see the shit about Black Bond?
No.
Yeah, and I want to say that I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being gay. You are what you are. I don't give a fuck.
Why is he gay?
Yeah. Apparently, he was having some type of Now I don't know what he's done in behind closed door, but he was having some lewd and insidious conversations with some men. You know what I mean? on Facebook or one of those fucking things. And when you click the link and the name in the conversation, it brings you right back to his personal page. You know what I mean?
Oh,
the conversation was like from like 2 years ago or some shit. Yeah, so I'm just saying, oh my God, somebody was curious or some shit. And
so was he the man or the woman of that relationship?
I don't know, but he was just saying. I guess it was bro. Again, it was like a conversation, and it was kind of small from what I guess he was saying, that he was curious or something. And he said, and he got. I read another comment like, "Geez, you guys keep sending me all these dick pics and shit." click on the name, they respond because you also might got a fake profile. You know, it's easy to do. But then when you click on the actual name and the thing, it brings you right back to his profile. Like, oh shit, that's like this shit when they got Dr. Trey the same way, man. They found Dr. Trey on. I didn't even know he had those type of forms on IGN. He had left like a smiley face with some colorful colors and shit, like the rainbow flag or something. It was said Dr. Trey. That shit was like from like years ago. Like, what the fuck are you doing on the man on man sex chat on IGN, bro? Like, yo, I'm telling you, bro, this YouTube shit, man, is some of the funniest shit in the world, bro. I ain't lying, man. There's some funny shit here, man. But anyway, man, thank you for rocking out with us, and we're right back with the multiplayer podcast. How the hell did I hang this shit up here? That shit was funny, old man. God is ass. Got him.